Holy moly, crapping slowly. Welcome to Uncle Rico's Storytime. Number 70. This is Chico Rico. You son of a bitch. I need to somehow start recording my customer interactions. When they come interrupt me or knock or do or like, hey, flag me down, I always pretend like my phone is the most important. Like there's something urgent going on there. Like, yeah. So I think now what I'm going to start doing is recording it so at least we can get audio. Shit, they're so oblivious. I could probably hold it right up to their face. Maybe that'll get them to pull their head out of their ass. But I'm sitting here. It's nice. It's, end of November. So it's beautiful in Arizona. I've got my door open. I've got my dogs out front. I'm watching Shoresy. I'm eating lunch in the form of cereal, but still. And my dogs start going crazy. And they're barking at some dude. And people were driving by like crazy all day long. So I'm just kind of oblivious to it. But after a while, I'm like, what the fuck? And I go out there, and there's this dude just creepy staring, like standing in the middle of the driveway, the pathway. And I go, yeah, can I help you? And he goes, hey, there's a lock on my door now. I go, oh yeah, that's, you opened it up. I saw stuff in there, so like I told you before, you gotta have your own personal lock on there, and it's gotta be secured. Otherwise, I'm gonna throw, a Da Vinci lock on there. I can't remember what units are, people just taking the time. Either way, you need a personal lock on there, dude. And he's like, oh yeah, he's got his phone. I go, are you on the phone with customer service? You good? Because I'm busy. And he goes, no, I haven't called him yet. And he put his phone down. So I was like, so you want me to get the lock off there? And I pull my phone out and I go, what's the serial number on it? And he goes, oh, I don't know. I was just going to tell you what unit it is. And so I go, okay, I'll walk over there and take the lock off. Do you have a personal lock right now? And he goes, no, I'll get one on there tonight. And I go, okay. So I walk over there, take the lock off, and he starts firing stuff at me. And I go, sir, I've got a TBI. I got cracked in the head when I was in the Navy, so it's hard for me to function sometimes. And I'm having a bad period right now. So if you're firing stuff at me, I can't figure out, should have been handled through customer service, but it's fine. I'll take care of it. It's just, And he goes, yeah, so, I'm sorry. So I take the lock off real quick, and he goes, yeah, so when I come in sometimes with that gate access code, it's, and I go, sir, let me stop you. Once again, I know I've told you this numerous times. I do not do any of that stuff. I don't know any of that stuff. I can't fix any of that stuff. I can't check any of that stuff. I can't even get into the system right now because my work computer got fried. So even if I wanted to see if you were a customer in good standing, I couldn't. I can't answer anything. And he's like, oh yeah, right. And I'm doing the phone thing where I'm like, I gotta go. I'm trying to walk away from him, and he goes, it's just the thing is sometimes I come in and I got 24-hour access, but and I go, that's supposed to be for businesses. Are you a business? And I already knew that I busted his balls about this because he was hanging out one night late, and I was like, what are you doing? This is not So he goes, oh no, I'm good there. He goes, just sometimes the code doesn't work for that. And I go, again, man, I don't know anything. I can't help you with anything. I can't magically snap. I'm not tech savvy. I should not even be talking to you. All I do is repair and maintenance and clears and stuff like that. So, and he goes, yeah. He goes, sometimes when I come in late at night, it's pretty dark, and I'll try to remember to bring a flashlight, but, you should think about, I go, sir, again, I can't do anything, suggestions. That all has to go through customer service. It sounds like you're just kind of venting to me now, and I'm the wrong person to do that because I will out-vent you easily. I'm barely hanging on here because I was in my house watching TV, eating a meal when I was inconvenienced. And I know you must have read my body language that I'm upset right now. It's different from when I've talked to you in the past. You've got your lock off. You're going to bring a personal lock tonight, or tomorrow morning your thing's going to be locked up and you're not going to be able to come to my house. You're going to have to call customer service and prove that you're who you are, and then they're going to give you a code, and then blah blah blah, and I'm going to switch that lock out, so you're going to have to do it every time. Bring a personal lock tonight. You're good. Happy Thanksgiving. And I turned around and walked off. But like, I gotta remember, some of these people are just lonely trying to talk to people, but fucking hey. Read the room, bro. Cheekies, you're so fucking cute, man. Why are you so cute? Yeah, so fun stuff. What the hell? What happened where I was talking to my buddy and he didn't believe me? What the hell was that? I don't know. But even my work girl was like, we need to do a reality show, I think. One of my favorite work things was, oh my God. Okay, so I was living in Omaha, Nebraska, and I was refinancing VA mortgages. So I was dealing with veterans who are pretty suspicious people. Okay, but the thing about our company, we were legit. We were the number one refi lender for these VA mortgages. But our thing is we had no overhead. So we were basically a bank without being a bank. We were money. And all of the salespeople would only get commission. So we had a little tiny office where we would meet in the mornings and hang out. My boss, Bob Savage, God bless him, if I ever get a hold of him, I owe the dude $500, which was a lot of fucking money way back in the day when I was a kid. Coming into hard times, he just fucking borrowed. I was like, hey man, I gotta quit. You know, I've been working the commission. It just isn't working for me. You know, I gotta go back to bartending. And he's like, he borrowed me the $500 as my boss. He was just a good dude all around. That was the secretary that catfished me. Jesus Christ, there's another story. So I'm going around to houses. You know, we make house calls, and people are super suspicious. And one of our pitches to set up the appointment is that you do not have to pay any money up front. Okay? Because everybody's like, look, da 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 da. And our thing is like, look, we'll send a guy out, he'll talk to you. You are not obligated to do anything, spend any money. We could, you know. So you go to these appointments and you get them and they're interested, and then you ask for a down deposit to lock them in to that certain rate. You know, oh, it changes, this and that. I think Bob lent me that money because he knew that I had a lot of promise. I was a young, good-looking kid. I could talk. I was smart. I was savvy. I knew how to work people. But my thing is, and I had a very short stint as a used car salesman also. I tried financial stuff. The financial thing, the first day I was at Wells Fargo, and they were like, okay, so your homework tonight is you go home and you hit up 10 of your friends and family and you get them to, you know, invest with us. And I'm like, and they're like, yeah, I go, my closest friends and family. And they're like, yeah, so it'll be easy. And I go, they're the ones that know that I just started, so why the fuck would they want to invest with me? And he's like, well, that's So that's how you learn the job, closing. You're always closing, always be closing. And I was like, yeah, this is not gonna work for me. But this other job, I was going door to door refinancing VA loans, and this one house I get to, and I park on the street. It's a little house in this addition, maybe 30 yards away from the house, but I hear there's just this music fucking blaring, Britney Spears. I'm like, fucking kids or something. But as I start getting to this guy's house, I hear that the music is playing from inside this dude's house. And oh no, it wasn't Britney Spears. It was what the fuck was it? What did he have blaring? It was just really loud music. Was it the radio station playing really loud? Doesn't matter. But I walk up to the house and I knock. Nothing. I can kind of hear walking around in there. So I walk around to the back, and the kitchen sliding patio door I can see through. This place is just a fucking mess. Just a complete disgusting mess. But on the kitchen table, he has all of these magazines set out. And I thought they were porn at first, but they weren't. They were like 17 and glam. No, it was like all 17 stuff, like teeny bopper magazines. And then on the sheet that's covering the living room window, because it was covered, it was blacked out and then covered with a sheet, it had a psalm, like Luke something. Something was written on this fucking sheet. And I knock on the door. And he's like, no, he was first. I went back to the front door because I was freaked out, so I knocked really loud. He comes to the front door and he goes, hello. And I'm like, I'm Nick with, I forget what the MC something. It doesn't matter. I'm like, Nick with whatever company. And he goes, oh, I can't hear you. The music's too loud. And I go, I'm the mortgage guy. I was going to talk to you about the mortgage. He goes, go around to the back door. So I go around to the back door. He opens up the sliding door. Shakes my hand. And I go, yeah. So he goes, come in. And come in. Slides the door shut. And he goes, oh, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, what? And I go, I can't hear you. Are you wanna make with the floor on the moor? And he goes, I'm sorry, I don't know if this is gonna work. And I go, can you just turn the music down? And he goes, he leans into me and he goes, yeah, I will, but I'm fighting an internal battle of good versus evil. And I go, okay, let's turn the radio down, and then if you freak out, I'm going to be honest, I'm just going to leave. And he's like, yeah, probably, good idea. So he goes in, turns off the radio, and then he comes back in, and he goes, he goes, are you hungry? I'm about to eat. Do you want any dinty more? And I was like, I go, no, no, I'm good, man. You're going to eat now when we're talking? And he's like, yeah, I'm super hungry. And he looked like, he was short and squat. He was a Marine. And he looked like that cartoon, that fucking Captain Caveman. Like there was a wrestler that fucking looked, that I can't think of now, but he looked exactly like that guy. I think he was like an island guy, I think, like that, something. But yeah, just kind of crazy looking and just fucking crazy in real life. But he goes, so he moved some of the magazine, and they were all Britney Spears. It was Britney Spears and Christina Aguilera because they were both big at the time. And so he kind of moves some of them. I go through the presentation. He does eat Dinty Moore. I forgot about this. He goes through the sink and at the bottom pulls out a thermos, unscrews the thermos, opens the Dinty Moore into the thermos and starts eating it. I'm like, what the fuck? If he is eating this shit raw, why is he not eating it out of the can? Is this his Dinty Moore thermos? So I pitch him. Light banter about Navy versus Marine stuff. And I hook him. And he's in. And he's ready to sign stuff. But at close, we ask for I think it's 10% deposit. So it's a substantial amount. So we're asking you to sign, thousands of dollars on a check to a guy that you just met at your home. And this is where people start getting pissed. One time, I had this wife, this couple, this skinny, very shy, timid guy, and it was the husband, and then he had his dad there. And then he was married to just this battle axe broad. And right when I pulled up, I was pissed because they had their dog chained up outside, and you could tell that it was neglected. And something happened at the door. She got very, very shitty with me, and I was like, you know what? I could walk away. I don't need to. I can definitely call it a day early. And the guys were like, no, we want to, come on, you're here, let's listen to it. If we could save money, we could save money. I go, you guys will save money, I'll guarantee it, but, because she had done something right away. But, so we go down to the basement, and upon close, when I told her about the money, she was like, are you fucking kidding me? And I was like, I know that they tell you that on the phone. We are legit. If you want to check everything out, this is just to lock it in. If we go through the rigmarole and talk to my boss a couple of times, we will do you without taking the deposit. Don't tell him I said that. She's like, are you fucking kidding? And she stood up and fucking knocked her chair over and shit. And I was like, I stood up. I was like, what? What the fuck? And she goes, God damn it. And the dad was like, whatever her name was, he was like, just go outside, we'll tell them no, And I go, I'm leaving. And they're like, no, we're really interested. And I go, no, I'm leaving. We're not going to fucking refinance you. We're done. She's got problems. And I left and called, and I was like, hey, I just left the appointment, got in trouble. You get in trouble if you leave a place, and the boss supervisor, my boss, Bob Savage, if he didn't get a chance to save it or close it, you get in trouble. That's their business model. So in both situations, I left without closing them. And for this guy, I don't remember it being an issue. I don't think I set him off. But, oh, yes. That's what it was. Okay, so right away they get pissy with you. And your next maneuver then is like, hey, we're legit. We're the number one refi for VA, for veteran mortgages. You can check us out, MCID? No, what is it? It doesn't matter. We've got this website. Check out the website, And he goes, oh, I can't. This guy goes, I can't go on the internet. And I go, you don't have internet? And he goes, we've got it at the university where I go in, I get free access, but I can't go into that room. And I go, you got kicked out of that room? And he's like, because I'm like, oh my God, I want to know what the fuck happened. I know he flipped out. But he goes, no, I just can't physically go into the room. It's too overwhelming. And I go, what do you mean? And he goes, well, I told you that I'm fighting this battle with good and evil. I go, yeah, you told me about that earlier. And he goes, well, you know, a lot of that is on the internet. And I go, yeah. And he goes, so if I listen to the radio, I can hear that good and evil on there in that ratio. When I get on the internet, like if I'm close to the internet, I can feel that, and it's mostly bad, evil stuff on the internet. And I go, yeah, it is. And he goes, so when I go into that computer lab, I walk into the room, and if I were to walk down that lane of the room, all I feel is evil, 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 evil. And then if I go down the, back the other way, I either got to come back across that or go around the other lane, and then on the other lane is evil, 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 evil. It was like in his head, he knew how many were there and everything. And then, at one point I was like, all right, we're not going to do it. It's fine. So I left, and I called my people. I called Christy, the secretary for Bob, and I go, hey, I just left this, place again. She's like, oh my God, that's 2 in a week. Like, Bob's gonna, like, you gotta stop doing that. And I go, nah, this was, if you want, like, I wasn't scared or anything, but like, if you wanted, say it, like, it was endangerment. Like, I should have never probably went in. And she's like, oh, what happened? And I told her. So she's like, okay, well, I'll let Bob know. And then Bob called me, and Bob was such a sweet guy, but he talked with like a droop voice, and he looked like another cartoon guy, that old droopy dog. And he goes, well, so what happened? And I told him. He goes, okay. And I could tell, he didn't. He was like, oh, geez, yeah, you really gotta worry about safety first in those situations. Okay, better luck next time, And I'm driving. It was in Iowa, south of Des Moines, and like 15 minutes, maybe a half hour later, I get a phone call, and Christy's laughing, just fucking laughing her ass off, and they're on speakerphone. And she goes, oh my God, we didn't believe you. And I'm like, oh, about the crazy guy? No, I guarantee you, it was like, I'm underselling it. He was nuts. And she goes, no, he called us. And I go, what? And she goes, oh my God, he called us. And I go, yeah. And she goes, no, we believe you on the other stories now. And I go, you thought I was lying? And she goes, yeah, we just didn't think you liked closing. And I go, I don't like closing. And she's like, well, he calls up. And he said something about, like, right away, he was like, hey, I gotta make this brief, because when I'm talking on the phone, I'm in this battle of good versus evil inside my head. And Christy was like, oh, you don't say. And so it went on. And she goes, it's so funny because when he told us about the computer lab, he told it exactly the same way that you did. Like, I think, if we would have recorded it, you guys might have got the number of computers the same. And I go, yeah, he was nuts. So then they were like, what else happened? I was like, okay, fuck, okay, well, all right. Like, really, I got strange right when I walked up to the front door. But yeah, that was probably my weirdest fucking customer interaction at any job, I think, ever. So Christy was a younger girl. I was in college, but I was in the Navy already. I'd already been in the 3 years in the Navy. So I was like, I think 22 when I went to college, and I think I bartended for a little while. I think I was like 23, 24. She was like 18 or 19, fresh out of high school, and she was a bigger girl, but she was super nice. And I would always, it was a room full of male salesmen, so it was like borderline madmen, big swinging dicks said, oh, Christy, and I was nice to her and would, bring her in a coffee or a muffin or whatever, because I knew she'd be help with the leads and stuff, and she was the key to the boss, Why would you? I'd never pass. Besides the point, male chauvinism. Besides the point. So I was always nice to her, and apparently she had developed a bit of a crush for me. And again, I was a good-looking kid, so I was kind of used to the attention. I would flirt with girls and be nice, but I wouldn't. It was never. I never hit on her, or showed her interest, or anything like that. So fast forward, I think, God, I don't even know how long it had been. She finds me on Facebook. She's very skinny. She has dyed her hair blonde. She is married out in San Diego now. She's married to a Marine who's deployed. So we start chatting. She goes, oh, yeah, blah, 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 blah. At some point, she professes her love to me. And I'm like, I saw you more of a kid sister type, so there's no way that I get romantic, feelings. She's like, me too, but then I felt different for you. You're going away party. She lost her phone. She dropped her phone underneath our deck. I was at my buddy's house, and then I went, mainly because I was drunk, I climbed all the way underneath the deck, and I got her phone for her. Oh, knight in white shining armor, all that. So I was like, I'm really sorry. She's like, I know. And she's like, I just want to try. And she's like, but you gotta meet my friend. I think her name was Jenna, maybe. She's like, yeah, you gotta meet my friend Jenna. And I'm like, no, I'm not. And she sends me pictures, and she's cute. She's a cute blonde. She's blonde. She's got blue eyes. I'm not. I'm a brunette, brown eyes. Pretty much all the time. I think Kathy Ireland and Angie Everhart were like the only chicks that don't have brown eyes that I have found attractive. So I'm like, we're chatting, and in my head, and I think I told Christy, I was like, I'm just not, she'd check in. Oh, what do you think about Jenna? She really likes you. Just not, not my type. But then, I told you about that weird brown eyes thing. And so then Jenna, whatever her name was, starts getting explicit with me, and I'm in then. So she's talking, chatting, and stuff, and then it comes to like, I should come visit after a couple of weeks. And I was like, yeah, if you want to come out, bet. And we get to the night of, fast forward, like she bought a plane ticket for a couple of weeks later. Like we were chatting, talking on the phone, and the night before she's supposed to fly out, radio silence. So the day of, comes and goes. She's still not talking. I give it a couple of days, and then I'm pissed, and I'm like, you know what? I didn't fucking ask you to come out here. You did. You forced this on me. I didn't, and then I find out that I forget how, but I found out that it was Christy catfishing me. And then I find out that she's catfishing me also about her too. She's still large. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but she's still bigger. She still looks the same. She's not out in San Diego. She was living in Omaha. And I messaged her. I was like, I've always been fucking nice to you. I've always been respectful for you. I stuck up for you when all those older salesmen, I was a new salesman, and out of place, and I still stuck up for you when they talked to you rude. I did nothing to deserve this. I never made any advance on you. I never made any advance on this made up chick. You fucking forced this on me. You kept nagging me to come visit. I have no idea why you would be so malicious to me. I don't know what I did to. And she said something that fucking pissed me off, where she was like, because I wanted to, or something. where I got angry. And I go, I knew that she was divorced. Somehow I had found out that she was divorced and had her, was in a child custody or something like that. I forget how I found that out. Because this was before, like, this might have been before Google, who knows? But it was a long time ago. And I said, I said, you know what? Like I did nothing wrong. This just leads me to believe that you're a bad fucking person. And I know that you had told me. I think she had told me. I go. Something happened. I go. You told me that you are in this custody battle with your kid, and I don't know anything about your ex-husband, but just the fact that you did this makes me think that you are mentally unhinged and should not have a child under your care. So what I'm going to do now is tomorrow morning I'm going to call my buddy, blah blah blah, because I lived in Omaha for like 10 years. I worked at a hoity-toity place. I knew the judges and fucking DAs and stuff. I go, I'm going to call my buddy, Tom Young, something like that. It wasn't. I never called him anyways, but I'm going to call my buddy, blah blah blah, who's the assistant DA here. And I'm going to have him check into your shit and make sure that the right people know what you are doing today. And I'm also going to talk to him and see if maybe there aren't any charges that can be brought up against you. I don't care. I really didn't care about what you were doing, but who knows how many fucking people you're doing this to. I think somebody should stand up and fucking teach you a lesson. And she lost her shit then, and I blocked her. So I just imagine that, through all of her shit, she was expecting, anytime any important thing came up, I was expecting, like, she probably thought the hammer was coming down on her. So yeah, Christy Vitus, go fuck yourself. Yeah, that was fun work stuff. It's been like 35 days. I'm really coming along. I'm still a little numb in the thumb area, but I'm getting some wrist movement. I was really stupid planning on playing hockey tomorrow, but I tried to pull on my sock and with my index finger, not even my thumb, and it hurt like hell. And then I tried to sweep up, and that did not go well either. So no hockey for me tomorrow. I'm going to go at least another week. I figure I got to be able to get dressed in order to play. I can play with a little bit of pain if I tweak it or something or do something wrong. But I got to be able to move my wrist to fully get dressed. You got to be able to be functional to play. That's where I'm drawing the line. So, but something happened, and I swear to God, it was after the general anesthesia. Is my vision? I'm short-sighted now. I was always I don't know what, I could not see far away, and I could see close up really good, and now I can't anymore. And then my vertigo is really bad from my TBI. When I stand up quickly, I get dizzy. And now, just when I close my eyes, it felt like I was fucking falling into like a black hole. I was on the bed a couple of times with the dogs, just wrestling, and then closed my eyes. I was on my back, and just right away it was like, holy shit. So just now, outside, when I was taking my dogs for a walk, I was closing my eyes trying to stand on one foot, and I couldn't do it. Like, I lost my balance right away, so I think I gotta go get checked out. So it's either that, and then I can't fucking talk. I can't think of the words that I want to say. Turned into dumbass. But I do think the trade-off is regenerative powers. So I'm not saying that I got like a mutation from the general anesthesia. I'm saying that I had those genes dormant in my body. I always suspected like I could have possibly been a descendant of Wolverine, aka James Howlett, aka Logan. I just had a weird connection to him. And now with this general anesthesia and this healing that quickly, that might be the trade-off, and I will take. I might have to wear some bifocals, but if this shit erupts, I'm gonna fuck some shit up. Oh, also, I was thinking it may not be vertigo. Also, it could be like a teleportation kind of thing, like Nightcrawler. If I embrace it fully and like go with it, it's not entirely impossible that I don't go through the ground instead of just smacking into it. If I had regenerative powers and is it no, it's not telepathy. Teleportation. Teleportation regenerative power. Oh fuck. Imagine the possibilities. I'm not entirely sure I'd be a good guy though. Watch out. No, I would be a good guy. Okay. 37 minutes. I was told that I'm gonna keep these short. Nobody's finishing them. But I think you are. I think you are finishing them and electing not to like, share, and subscribe. Which would pretty much be like, I was gonna say pissing in my face. I don't know if it's that extreme though. I've never had anyone piss in my face. Directly or indirectly, so I'm not entirely sure. If it was a hot chick, okay, let's think here. Yeah, I'd be down with that, like a Ellie Goulding or Rachel Lee Cook or yeah. So the pee thing, I was always real grossed out about pee and poop and everything. I would never even think of it in a sexual manner. I didn't understand it. Why would you want somebody to pee on you? Like, what? Take a different kind of fluid if you're doing the job right. But I was working at this place in Scottsdale, and this manager there, cold beer and cheeseburgers. Doing my morning restaurant check, and I was leaving. I knew I was leaving. I was transferring to a different store, and there was this hostie. Holy crap, man. This chick was like so hot. American Asian blend, just fucking smart, like had good taste, just fucking cool, sexy as hell. And I'm doing some maintenance. I was hanging up. No, we were open. And I was doing repair on a stall door. She comes in, and I would like to think she knew I was in there, but I don't even care, cause she came in and I was like, oh, I'm in here, and she's like, oh, that's okay, and I popped my head out, and I was like, what? And she goes, it's cool, I'll just be a minute, and I was like, okay, and I kind of kept messing with the door because I figured she was just gonna grab toilet paper or do something or fix her makeup or something, but she's like, I heard the like belt dangle on the tile and heard the pee, and I instantly developed a pee fetish. Not a strong one, but I was like, yeah, you could probably do that on me, and I'd be okay with it. Man, she was hot. Wonder what I don't even remember what her name is. She's single-handedly out there handing out pee fetishes, golden showers, the golden shower girl. It was another work story. A lot of work stories. All right, 40 minutes. I started this. I wanted to talk about Slab City, but I will save that for the next one. I did realize that two things. I should probably tell that one. Yeah. We started to tell a couple of stories last episode and didn't. So my handyman Josh comes over. I had an addict friend that I was trying to help out about 4 or 5 months ago. She lived in my guest bedroom. It was fucking nuts. So I got rid of her after a couple weeks and had to clean it. Like, she was just weird, had weird shit and girl stuff, like girl eyelashes on the mirror and stuff that grosses me out that I didn't want to clean up, you know. So I was gonna call. So there was this cute customer that I had been trying to flirt with, but I've lost all my mojo. So I was like, and she comes over to my house and she's like, "Hey, do you guys have a bathroom?" And I go, we don't. I'm so sorry." And then I was like, "What? Jesus, dude." I go, "We do. I have one in my private house that you can use, but like we're not allowed to yet let customers use it because of liability thing. But it's all good. I'll stay outside while you're using it. And let me put my dogs in." So I put my dogs in and I go over and I open up the bathroom to make sure. I'm like, well, the only mess in here is like a girl mess, so maybe I'll explain it to her, and then she would know that I'm single. And I open up the toilet and it's fucking nasty. There's black shit, like mold, fungus, mold, growth, black, all over the toilet seat. And I open it and it's all over the bottom too, all over the rim. So I've never seen anything like this on a toilet, man. So I go, oh fuck, I close it, I run out, I go, "Hey, I got a guest bathroom, but it's not, I just checked. So let me get the dogs, put them in the other room. You can use my private bathroom, but, there's a lot of pot stuff on the counter. There's a bong sitting out there, So she's like, "Oh, okay, I smoke pot too, it's fine." And I was like, "Okay, let me," I'm like, "Okay, you're fine." So she did it, and fast forward to like a week later, and I'm talking to my helper guy, and he says something about, I made a joke about guys peeing when they sit down. I'm like, "Yeah, it's the kind of guy that has to, pee sitting down." And he goes, "Well, I pee sitting down." And I go, "Well, sometimes I do when my back's real bad, but why are you doing that?" And he goes, "'Cause of jail." And I go, "Oh, you don't want to have your back to that." I go, "Yeah, that makes sense." And he goes, "Yeah." And so then we're talking about something else. I'm telling him about my cleaning lady coming over to clean up this fucking mess in the bathroom. And I go, "I know it was her because nobody ever uses this guest bathroom." And he goes, "Well, I use the guest bathroom." And I go, "I thought you pee outside." And he goes, "Well, no, I mean, when we're hanging out or smoking pot or whatever, I'll use the guest bathroom all the time." I go, "Oh, okay, so you've used it recently?" And he's like, "Yeah, I think a couple of days ago." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, buddy. Just let's start on the next job. Why don't you go outside, start on the next job, and then I will be out there after a while to join you after I clear my head from the image of you sitting down on whatever is growing on that toilet seat in there." Ew. Yeah, so that was one of the stories that I didn't finish. The other one was because of the three little altercations. Um, I was gonna talk about the fights and stuff, but we gotta wrap things up. The one fight though that was the first fight that and it wasn't even a fight, assault. The first assault, I got sexually assaulted in the Navy too. I'm not kidding. Um, but this one, Jesus, I forgot what I was thinking about. What was I gonna say? Oh, so this one, I was a kid. I had, I forgot what grade I was in. I think seventh grade. I had just gotten, yes, seventh grade. Eighth grade, maybe? I'm not sure. I had just gotten my glasses. And I was a bit of a bully when I was a kid. So the glasses fucked my shit up. But I don't think anybody ever said anything to me. I don't think they dared say anything to me, but it really messed me up mentally, you know. I think that's when, no, because I bullied people in high school too. I did get, no, fuck, Nathan Green. No, I did not get, no, that was younger. Nathan Turk, no, I didn't do that. That wasn't my bathroom thing. Either way, it doesn't matter. Yeah, I was young, seventh grade, eighth grade. I went to this festival in a neighboring town called Onalaska, Sunfish Days, and my parents forgot me. It was it was eighth grade because my dad was sick with the brain tumor that he passed from. So they had a lot of stuff going on. So they forgot to pick me up one night after the festival. So I'm waiting outside there to be picked up, and this group of people, four people, two couples, walk by. I'm sitting on a little tiny electrical post, and they come walking across on the sidewalk, and there's one dude who thinks he's in a glam rock band. He had like a stonewashed jean jacket and long hair, and was fucking walking with his chest puffed out, and then a really trashy looking chick that I was like, ugh. She was dressed provocatively, but not my thing. So I wasn't checking her out or anything. I'm observed. I look at everybody. I once went on a dinner date with my sister. Set me up with a friend, and I left. I thought it went well, and like as soon as I left, an hour later, I get a phone call from my sister, and she's pissed. She's ripping into me about me checking out all the chicks that walked into the restaurant. I was like, no, I checked out every single customer that walked into the restaurant, and I could tell you exactly, you know, who was on that dining room table the whole time that we were there. There was a guy with a fucking plaid hat wearing and reading a newspaper, and he had a book by so and so that he wasn't reading. He had soup and a fucking sandwich. You know, I manage restaurants. I observe. I wasn't checking out chicks. That's on you guys for reading into something that wasn't there. But you know, I just kind of look at them and just kind of watch them walk by, and then the tough guy stops and comes back, and he walks up to me, and he goes, "Hey, are you fucking looking at my girl?" I go, "No." And he goes, "Yeah, you were fucking looking at my girl." I go, "No, I wasn't." And he goes, and I'm like looking away, like, "No, I wasn't." Like, because the group is over here, and he's kind of in my face. And I'm like, "No, nope." And he goes, "Yeah, you fucking look at my girl one more time, I'm gonna fucking knock you out, blah, blah, blah." And it turns out later that he was 20, like 26, 27, something like that. So they keep walking, they walk to the end of the festival, and then just fucking sat there. And I could see I have really good, like my peripherals are pretty good. Like I'm right here, right now. I can see my fingers, right? And so I'm kind of watching them like this way, going, holy shit, they're still over there. Are they fucking still over there? And then finally, after a while, I'm like, they can't fucking still be over there. Are they over there? And as soon as I fucking looked over, he started fucking, came right back, fucking popped me. And I've always been able to take a shot. I got a brick jaw, and he hit me and fucking stood me up. And he goes, oh, you wanna fucking do this? And so I was like, oh shit. And so I like just fell down. I'm like, oh, you knocked me out, buddy. And he was like, yeah, that's right, motherfucker. And so, he walked away. And then as soon as I was watching, as soon as they walked away, I grabbed my fucking glasses and ran, ran around the corner of the festival, under a tree. It was a dark, shaded, and I was like fucking crying. I'm like, what the fuck? First time I've taken a shot. I've had people fucking pop, like fight, but this was a fucking shot. And so I was crying, like I went to, he busted up my glasses. My glasses were busted up, so I went to a car, and saw, what he did. Like I was kind of all fucking bloodied and cut up and stuff. And so I went to a buddy's house. I was like, da 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 da. And so my buddy's dad called my dad, and my dad picked me up. And I didn't know about all of the rest of this stuff until later. But my dad took me home, and then found out almost immediately who it was. It was this dirtbag named Kurt Groth from Onalaska, Wisconsin. And his dad was a cop. His mom was like a dispatcher or something like that, So he's got that bully in his blood. And he was like 20, 25, 26, 27. He had priors out on him. And so I remember my dad, after he had left, he came back. I assume he must have went to the police station. And he was fucking hot. And I know he did something else. And I don't know if he pressed charges or not. I hope he did, because that fucking dirtbag deserves jail time. And fast forward later to after I had gotten out, served the Navy, gotten out of the Navy. I was bartending and ran into the chick at this family fun center that I was working at. And I saw her, I go, holy shit. And when I saw her, I knew who she was. No, this was before that. So when I was on leave, I ran into her at the bar. And I fucking saw her, and I saw her at the bar, and I go, and she was younger. So this dirtbag was like 25. The girl that he was dating was probably in high school. Yes. I was a freshman. No, I was in 8th grade. She would have probably been a senior in high school, I think, at the time. No, she's only a couple of years older than me. I must have been a freshman, and she must have been like a junior, senior. Either way, this fucking 25-year-old dude is dating a fucking high school girl. So I see her at the bar, and I'm like, fuck, I remember this broad. And I walk up to her, I go, hey, how's it going? We were at the library, La Crosse, Wisconsin, 25-cent taps. So I walk up to her, I go, hey, how's it going? She goes, hey, not bad, how are you? I go, I know you're not going to remember me, but we've met before. And she goes, no, I wouldn't have remembered it. And I go, yeah, I look a lot different than when the first time we met. And I go, were you by chance outside of Sunfish days when your douchebag boyfriend knocked out a 16-year-old kid? And she goes, oh my God, how do you know about that? And I go, because I was the fucking kid. And she goes, holy shit. And I go, yeah, you're not. And she goes, oh my God, no, I'm not with him anymore. Like, he's in jail. I go, oh, I was kind of hoping that he was here. And she goes, yeah, you'd kick his ass now. So he probably, I like playing this back in my head, I remember the dude to be a fucking hulking, but I mean, he was probably a skinny bitch 25-year-old, but yeah, it'd be fun to kick his ass. But yeah, that was my first technical bout. Definitely a loss. TKO, I would say. My corner threw in the white towel. So, but yeah, that was first time I've ever seen my dad get really fucking hot. So, but time to wrap it up. Oh my God, we're almost at an hour now. Another long one. Like, subscribe, share, talk about your crazy nut job friend who just talks about nonsense for an hour. Oh, and fucking happy Thanksgiving, you fucking animals.